Hi people, so I hope you're doing good today. And let's go. We're about to keep going on what we was doing last time. So we're in the fifth part of the introduction of the dimensional system. And so here we go. So I told you that, you know, this is energy contracted, energy expanded, and this is a sphere. Okay, it's a sphere. So I add on only the half. It's like that. Often when I will do schema images, I will do only the half if it's the same on the opposite. Anyway, this is a sphere. We can see it as a disk, as I did it right here, like the half of a disk to explain it. Or we can see it as a column. You remember? I say everything because maybe people will just fall on this part and look at this like that. So here's the column. What is subtle is here, what is dense is here. Then this column can be schematized as a line. Basically on the upper part would be what is subtle, and on the lower part would be what is dense. So here's the line, okay? As you can see it here, it's dense and it's like closed inside of the material, the form. And here it expands, it gets higher, but also it gets wider. So it is the changing in densities of each dimension, but also the gaining in space, the widening of each of those dimensions, which is represented by the expansion here. Also on the upper part is what is subtle, so 7 and plus, and here it's the 1. So if you remember, I was explaining it to you as if you were a group of person or an enterprise, I call it like that, who wanted to create a society. So you gotta go to the fifth part of the introduction of the dimensional system if you wanna know what I was talking about here. So here we go. I'm going to channel it again because I was channeling. So I'm going to explain you a few things here. So remember, you are the group of person. No? We do that as if you were this group of person because it's a way for me to explain it to you. Dimensional system is something we should, if it was perfect, get initiated to. So in a perfect case, the best thing for it, for some people to learn about it, would be them to be initiated by experiences physically, passing through maybe at least minimum 2 weeks of experiencing different activities with different goals, of experiencing their own bodies, seeing how their body reacts to their thoughts, seeing how their body reacts to the thoughts of other people about their own body, many things, because there's many activities that you can do when you touch the skin of a body. You can feel the little subtle changements, and there are some of those changements only when someone is thinking about this body. For example, you take two friends of you touch the skin of one of your friends and you tell the other, you start to think positively about him. You notice how you feel the changement in the skin, and then you ask the other person. So it's a game. You ask the other. It's not real. You ask the other person to kind of really briefly, not being too hard on it, but try to like emulate what he would think if he wanted to steal this person, steal something, and having a kind of bad energy toward, or just ignoring it, doing as if it didn't existed. And then you will notice the changements in the skin too. Those are subtle, but if your mind is focused, your attention is totally here, and you're open to perception, to receiving the perceptions, you're going to feel the changement. So there would be many activities that would initiate the one who wants to learn about it. And so then when we would tell him about dimensions, different names of the dimensions or the numbers, he would immediately know what it relates to. Because at first, dimensional system being a wide system and being about the everything, we could say, but really not from the mind point of view. It's something super wide. It's a big structure. It's a mega structure. So I had to do this initiation the way I did it with all this introduction. It's like making you swim in the water, so you impregnate yourself with this water, and it becomes more familiar for you. Okay? So, so here we go. I'll go back on the channeling. So, I think we were Okay, so I think I was at the end anyway. So yeah, that's it. I'm explaining to you as if you are this group of persons. So first of all, you will have a first goal creating your society. After having a safe place, you remember, this is the basic need, the safe place. You need a space. So then the first goal will be how you're going to feed people. To me, it's the first goal. We can say that maybe there are three first goals, but I think food is one of the first goals. So the first goal would be food for everyone. We're going to do something like a 10 people society, which would be not a real society, but the beginning, maybe the core of a society. 40 people and 150 people. Okay, so those are three different cases. So in this case, what is universe? Okay, then the second name of the dimensional system is also the universal system. But it's easier for a beginner to call it the dimensional system, so you know it talks about dimensions. But as you get in advanced, you understand it talks really about the universe and about universal mechanisms. So universal system makes sense when you start to understand more about it. So first of all, the universal system would tell us that. Okay, I'll do it again. Okay, I'm going to change right now, so it's easier for you to see. Blank page, zero dimension for those who remember, or for those who have seen the video. Anyway, let's go. This is a pleasure to do this to you guys. Really enjoy it. It's fresh, fun, peaceful. So I hope everything is good with the light, and put it in the comment if you need more light. What does the universal system tell us first? So it tells us that in the third dimension, there is many inner dimensions. Okay. If you don't understand, don't worry. You're about to understand in a few minutes what I'm talking about. The third, the world, contains many inner dimensions. In one of those inner dimensions is a forest. We take the world as being the earth, okay? So on earth there is different inner environments of the earth, so ecosystems, okay? One of those, let's say it's the forest, the Amazonian forest, for example. We're going to say, but there's forest on earth. So one of those in the dimension is the inner dimension of the forest. This is a generic term. It's a generic example. So the inner dimension of the forest will have the characteristic of a forest, but we can apply it to any real forest on earth. You understand? So those forests, those fifth dimension of the world, or those dimension from where comes the food. Let me explain it to you. The forest is a seed, the seed of a plant, but a seed is a seed of a plant, so it's a seed that has taken form and that has reached, let's say, one of its final states, which is producing fruits. Okay? So it's a form inside of an environment which had what it needed. So the universe sent it what it needed, being the rules or being the material, for its inner dimension, so the inner dimension of the form, which is the seed, to grow and to expand and express itself. So it has created the tree, which is here. Okay, so the tree being the expression of the inner dimension, let's say, for example. And then after maturing it, it has created some fruits and put it inside of the fruits. So there is a kind of complete cycle, almost complete, because the first energy has projected itself into its creation. The energy of the seed, the DNA inside of the seed, has projected itself into its own creation, which is the fruit. You agree with me? Okay, thank you. So even though they can be a melange of two chromosomes of two different seeds at first, it's still the same on a macro level. It's the entity tree which has projected itself into its creation, whether it is one tree doing it solo or two trees. So the fruit is the creation, and it's what we want to eat. It's the food. Why do I say that the forest represents the food? Because there is many ways to deal with this problem of feeding the society. But holistic system is kind of vegan. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is. Why? Because to live in a holistic system, we want to find and we need to find the safest ways, the easiest and the shortest ones to come from a point A to a point B. For the stability of the whole system to be equilibrated, to be not too chaotic, to be harmonious, so the most stable possible. So having a variable, an object or a variable like animals, killing those animals and feeding the people with this meat is a too big variable, because there is so many things in the universe that are going on, not only in those dimensions, but also in other dimensions. And it is done in a way that if you want to rise, you got to protect everyone and to take care of everyone. And on the long run, eating animals is not the perfect thing for us. Because first of all, it keeps us in the low states of energy, because we are eating cells that has been in a body which is not at the same density of energy than we are. For example, an animal has not the same concept of dignity than a human. I think we agree on that. So it's not really harmonious with what we are. And second, if you is a vegan society, if you are a vegan society, you will you will have to be really serious about how you take care of nature and how you create abundance. So this is the first step for going to abundance. And all the more so, you can't really, we do eat meat, but if you can do otherwise, you really would better do otherwise, because you're going to gain so many things by doing so. It will be something that is really beyond your imagination. First of all, the relationship with animals. If you don't kill animals, on 10 years, they will start to understand this, so you can be closer to them. And there's many, many, many things going on. So this video is not about the why of the dimensional system is vegan, which could be a video on an hour long, but it is. So I will never teach someone to make a dimensional system which is not vegan. This is how it is. And it's like this. It is because of the 10th dimension and the principles that stabilizes universes. And one of those is unity. So you really gotta handle this with attention and precaution if you want to understand it. But it is a question of responsibility and of integrity. You can't feed the whole society only with dead or sick animals. You understand me? So you will have to kill some. So there is a question of sense that arises here. A question of equity between every living being, on Earth. So this is something serious. Anyway, this is 40 minutes long. I will try to find a stable step to make an end to this part, because I don't want them to be too long. I will make some longer video later on. So in the third dimension, there is this fifth dimension. I will tell to those people that they need to be a vegan system. While they are rising the system, they can eat whatever they want, but they won't be able to have a strong, high, and stable enough state of consciousness in the system if everyone is eating meat. It's just not coherent. You won't be able to have some fifth D persons, and so the system won't be able to have a motor. It won't be able to have force inside of it, to have a generator of energy, because it's the fifth dimension centered people that really make the world go forward, as they are at the center of the dimensional system. They are both connected to the material, and to the people which are more thinking like materialistically, and they're also connected to the energy, to the higher dimensions, to the conceptual things, or to the vibrations. And so to people who are more thinking in terms of consciousness, integrity, and all those things. That's why they are the center of movement of, first of all, a person, but second, on a global scale, humanity. And this is a perfect place to stop this. So, guys, I can write today. See you. You know what? I really, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm okay to make it more clear or more easy for you to understand. So, tell me if you like it. And if you would like it to be different, or if you would like me, I don't know, to do something for you, to help you to understand it, I don't know, to make it closer to you, just tell it. Let me know, and I will see what I can do. Okay? Peace, guys, women, childs of the earth and the universe. See you.